Katie has been there reporting for us that since she's been there, they've already felt 4 aftershocks. What people may not understand is that each aftershock is like an earthquake in and of itself. So imagine a completely devastated country like this. The ground starts shaking again, and people have no idea how bad it's going to be, and they had nowhere to seek cover. There are bodies in the streets. It is just about as dire as it gets. And the big question this morning, everybody wants to know, is help there? And if not, when is it finally going to arrive?
Yeah, as we've learned, because of these aftershocks, people are not staying in structures because they realize they weren't safe to begin with. They're going to be even less safe after the structure has been shaken by the original earthquake and the aftershocks subsequently. So they are sleeping in the streets. Some of them are sleeping side by side by dead bodies.
It is unfathomable. Katie Couric's picture is up. We're glad to see you, Katie. We're hearing reports this morning of people turning pickup trucks into ambulances, doors into stretchers. They're having to improvise to help the victims, oftentimes to no avail because there's nowhere to get medical help. Are you seeing that change at all?
Well, you know, not in the short term, Maggie, and I apologize. It's really a huge technical challenge to broadcast from Port-au-Prince, so thank you for your patience. Basically, a number of hospitals were completely, demolished as a result of this earthquake, and so the hospitals are jam-packed. The one gentleman I spoke to yesterday on the tarmac of the international airport told me there were bodies everywhere, dead people lying in the yard, sick people, and he took his sister's assistant, as we saw earlier in the broadcast, to the hospital, and they stayed there all night and nobody could see her. So, you know, not only do you have the problem of rescuing people under the rubble, but then you have the problem of actually getting them the medical attention they need. And we've seen a lot of people walking around with bandages on their heads and other situations, looking pretty dazed and confused and physically affected by this, and yet they're not getting the medical attention they need. It's a serious problem, and certainly, hopefully, part of this humanitarian effort will be a lot of medical personnel who can give them the attention they need, because it's really pretty horrifying.
Katie, can you describe a little bit about what it was like there last night? As we were going off the air with you last night on the evening news, I could hear faintly in the background, I thought I could hear children singing. Yeah,
it was really kind of surreal, Harry, because here you have, amidst all this devastation, it was almost like this joyful choir of kids broke out, not very far from where we were set up at our location, and they were singing a Haitian song, praising God. One thing I've been struck by, even when I talked to President Rene Preval yesterday, and he was talking about how challenging and how horrible the situation is. Not only did his palace get destroyed, but also his home. But I said, have you given up hope? And he said, never. And that's one thing I think, in spite of all this, and this really is in many ways a star-crossed country, 3 hurricanes and 1 tropical storm in 2008, up to 800 people were killed. And yet there is sort of this optimism and feeling of, dare I say, joyfulness that you kind of see among the Haitian people, which is really quite inspiring. But clearly, people desperately need help. But you see this in the strangest of places and during the strangest of times.
All right, Katie Couric, thank you so much. We will continue to check back in with Katie if we can. Like she said, it is not easy not only to get to Haiti, but to be in Haiti under these sorts of conditions.